Imagine talking to a machine that writes stories, answers questions, and explains ideas like a human, all in seconds. This is ChatGPT, a powerful AI that learns from language. It doesn't sleep or think like we do, yet it can chat like a real person. In this video, you'll learn who built it, how it works under the hood, and why it exists, and why that matters to you right now. Welcome to Lucanto, where we dive deep into the tech shaping our future. Today, we're exploring the true story of ChatGPT, one of the most advanced AI systems ever created. By the end, you'll understand how ChatGPT came to be, what makes it tick, and what we humans get out of it. Let's start unraveling this fascinating technology. ChatGPT was developed by OpenAI, a research organization founded in 2015 by tech leaders including Sam Altman, Elon Musk, and others. OpenAI's mission was to advance artificial intelligence for the benefit of all humanity. From the very beginning, building something like ChatGPT was a team effort, not a solo project. In fact, the original GPT, 3-paper lists 31 engineers and researchers at OpenAI collaborating on the model. Over the years, OpenAI has grown into a company with thousands of employees, including hundreds of experts in math, computer science, and neural networks. These people pooled their expertise, along with large financial backing, to ask a simple but extremely hard question. Can a machine understand human language? Their goal was to teach a computer to read and write. Early investors pledged up to $1 billion to kickstart OpenAI. And in 2019, Microsoft invested $1 billion more, providing money and a supercomputer platform to power their AI work.
These resources show how serious the effort was. In short, ChatGPT's origin story is a story of many smart people, massive funding, and cutting-edge computers, all working together for years.
When OpenAI started building ChatGPT, the model knew nothing at all. No words, no grammar, no facts. To give it knowledge, engineers gathered vast amounts of text data, books, articles, websites, and more. GPT-3 was trained on about 300 billion words. They fed this data to a giant neural network running on powerful GPU clusters. Training such a model is very expensive. Estimates put GPT-3's training compute cost around $4.6 million. Training took months of continuous computation. For example, NVIDIA CEO noted that training a comparable large model on tens of thousands of GPUs can take 3 to 5 months. During training, the model makes millions of mistakes, gradually learning from them. Its one core skill is learning to predict the next word in a sentence, starting with random weights. It kept predicting, being corrected, and predicting again. Over time, it learned grammar, facts, and logical patterns. In the end, ChatGPT became fluent in language. The building process looked roughly like this. Engineers collected diverse text data and prepared it for training. The data was fed into a multi-layer neural network on huge GPU clusters. Over weeks and months, the model adjusted 175 plus billion parameters to reduce its prediction errors. Finally, it was fine-tuned and safety-checked by humans to make sure it followed guidelines. All this required time, money, and people, far more than a single person could handle. It took hundreds of researchers and engineers working together over many months to build ChatGPT, supported by millions of dollars and the fastest hardware available. When you type a question to ChatGPT, the magic happens in the blink of an eye on the server side. First, your input text is converted into numbers. In practice, each word or piece of a word is turned into a numeric token. The model uses embeddings, vectors of numbers, to represent each token. Raw text can't be directly processed by a neural network. It must be converted into numbers. Once converted, these numbers pass through hundreds of layers of artificial neurons. Each layer applies mathematical functions and learned weights to detect patterns. Inside this network, attention mechanisms let the model focus on relevant words from earlier in the sentence. Essentially, each layer transforms the input vectors step by step, capturing context and meaning. Finally, after processing the entire input, ChatGPT generates a response token by token. It calculates probabilities for what the next word should be, given everything it has seen so far. At its core, it's always doing one thing, predicting the next most likely word. For example, given the prompt, "The capital of France is," the model computes that Paris has the highest probability as the next word. It picks a word, appends it, then repeats until the answer is complete. This all happens in milliseconds. Tokenization. The input text is broken into tokens, and each is turned into a numeric vector. Neural processing. These vectors flow through many layers of neural network. Each layer refines the representation using learned weights and attention. Response generation. At the top layer, the model assigns probabilities to possible next tokens and chooses the most likely one to output. It then converts numbers back to text. There's no thinking or consciousness here, just billions of fast calculations. ChatGPT doesn't think or have opinions. It's a chain of math functions that have been tuned on language. The system follows the rules and patterns embedded in its weights, derived from the training data. ChatGPT wasn't created to replace humans. It was built to assist us. OpenAI's founders and engineers see it as a tool for productivity and learning. It can help people write, learn, and solve problems. Think of ChatGPT as a very advanced calculator for language. Its existence is partly driven by a natural goal: to advance AI capabilities. When Sam Altman and others founded OpenAI, they envisioned AGI as a long-term project. ChatGPT is an intermediate step, a demonstration that when humans push machines hard with enough data and compute, machines can handle language tasks faster and more scalably than ever before. In practical terms, ChatGPT exists because people find it useful. Millions of developers and students use it daily to speed up work and learning, just as people use search engines or maps. How it's used depends entirely on the human behind the screen. In short, ChatGPT is a powerful assistant. It extends our abilities by quickly providing information, explanations, or creative content. What you learn from it is up to you. The AI itself is just a tool. But by studying how it was made and how it operates, you learn important lessons about intelligence, technology, and the future of work.
Even after the model is trained and launched, humans stay in the loop. OpenAI's team continues to monitor and update ChatGPT. Engineers fix bugs, improve performance, and push out new model versions. The company also works on safety, adding filters and guardrails to prevent harmful or toxic outputs. ChatGPT itself doesn't make autonomous decisions. It follows strict guidelines and policies coded by people. For instance, it was told to refuse certain requests. The AI model doesn't want anything on its own. It simply follows the prompts it was given during training and deployment. Underneath, all its outputs abide by rules designed by humans. So in a very real sense, OpenAI's human team controls ChatGPT. Behind the scenes, the model runs on Microsoft's cloud supercomputers. When you send a message, your query is processed on these servers. Engineers continuously analyze logs to spot errors or biases. They also collect user feedback. This human oversight helps the system learn from its mistakes and become better over time. But again, the AI doesn't have desires or free will. It's an engine directed by human hands. If it seems like ChatGPT knows everything, remember, it's all patterns, not memories. During training, it absorbed language patterns from billions of words, learning statistical relationships between ideas. It doesn't have a database of facts or recall conversations like a human brain. Instead, it has pattern knowledge. When asked a question, ChatGPT doesn't look things up live or remember personal data. It generates answers based on patterns it learned during training. For example, it knows roughly that Eiffel Tower is in Paris because that fact appeared in its training data, not because it has a memory slot for it. If the fact was never included, it might get it wrong or say it doesn't know. The model recognizes relationships between words and concepts based on training statistics. This is why it can produce factual-sounding responses. It has seen similar facts in text. This key difference, pattern matching versus understanding, also means ChatGPT has no real awareness. It isn't thinking, remembering, or believing anything. It doesn't know facts the way we do. It is a mirror reflecting the data it was trained on. So while it can generate answers that seem knowledgeable, every response is ultimately a recombination of learned language patterns. If ChatGPT sounds polite, humorous, or confident, that's by design and training, not emotion. Its personality is an output style shaped by the data and guidelines. For example, many prompts in its training data had helpful, polite responses, so it tends to mimic that tone. If it cracks a joke or tells a story, it doesn't actually experience humor. It's following the style patterns it learned. Think of ChatGPT as a friendly but emotionless assistant. It can generate empathy or excitement in text, but it doesn't feel those things. It can pretend to be cheerful or sad if the prompt asks, but internally, it's just calculating words. All its behavior, tone, confidence, humor, comes from probabilities, not feelings. It behaves human-like only in language form. It truly has no consciousness or self-awareness. This also means the AI has no opinions or beliefs of its own. If it sounds sure of something, that confidence comes from how likely that phrasing is according to its training data, not personal conviction. You reading this script should remember, ChatGPT can mimic human conversation very well, but it's always a machine following code. ChatGPT is the result of years of work and billions of dollars poured into research and engineering. It shows what's possible when humans and machines team up. By understanding its story, how it was built, how it works, and why it exists, we gain insight into a powerful new tool at our fingertips. Remember, this technology is still evolving. As we continue to use it and improve it, knowledge can move faster than ever. ChatGPT is not the final word in AI. It's an early chapter. What matters is how we humans choose to use it. With thoughtful use, it can help us learn, create, and solve problems at unprecedented speed. If you want to understand the technology shaping our future, subscribe to Lucanto and stay informed. We'll keep breaking down the AI systems changing our world, because the next machine we uncover might surprise you even more. Remember, the story of AI is written by people like you and me, not by the machines themselves.